All right. So you are so how long, and let me ask you, I'm going to ask you the question similar to how Sanaa Lathan's character Sid asked the question in Brown Sugar. So when did you fall in love with comedy? Not hip hop, but comedy.
Man, I first fell in love with comedy. It had to be about 15 years ago, and I had snuck, because my grandfather, he had this room in the house, like a secret garden room where he used to hide from my grandmother because she knew how to fight.
Not the secret garden.
Yeah, he used to sneak in his room and watch these comedy shows, and he was watching Eddie Murphy, Delirious. And I'm looking like, yo, this is funny. And then I started watching, and then I started looking up who Eddie Murphy was, and then I started looking up stand-up. And after that, it was pretty much over, where you got an opportunity to say what you want, make people laugh, and try to give people hope and encouragement at the same time. That's right up my alley. And after that, it was history.
You just made me feel real old that you said you had to look up to see who Eddie Murphy is. Whew, I feel like I'm about 86 right now. So you're a young comic, I should say. How old are you, Chris?
35.
Okay, so yeah, you're around that age, still younger than I am. So tell me, when you said you had to look up Eddie Murphy, I was like, okay. But so is he one of your favorite comedians? Who do you look up to in the game of comedy? And by the way, I have to say, before you even answer,
go ahead.
the comedian Damon Williams out of Chicago. He liked my post. He liked my post today when I talked about having a comedian on my show today. So shout out to Damon Williams if you're listening. Let's hope he's listening. So who are some of your comedy heroes and inspirations?
So my favorite comedians who I've been to see quite often, and just kind of my whole career, I say that, they have paved the way for me, is like Lavelle Crawford, who is my number one favorite comedian of all time. Lavelle Crawford.
He lost like 100 pounds, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost a whole lot of it. So Lavelle Crawford and Arnez J. Yeah, so and then in a strong third is Gary Owens, because that dude he just say anything, and that dude's a funny character.
He's an honorary black man. Black community loves Gary Owen. For those of you that don't know, you guys probably refer to him as the white black comic, because he's on all the black shows. Like he had a show with his family even on BET. So black people love him. So
he's the white dude in Act Like a Man, Think Like a Lady, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man.
Right.
That's
okay, so you picked three big ones. And it's so funny because most people don't name those three. And they're very funny guys, all in their own right. But when you ask someone their favorite comedian, I never heard those three, ever. So what makes them special to you, and what about them touches you?
Well, because of their story of where they came from, how they, they always talk about how they started off playing the dozens. And usually when you play the dozens or you say something funny, everybody always, your friends and family always going to tell you, oh, you funny, you should try da-da-da-da-da. And all three of them had that same story. We started off funny, but we just didn't want to be known to the family as funny. We wanted to show people we was for real with this funny. And, I kind of just was, that was always my theme. Lavelle Crawford being a big dude with diabetes, almost died. And for him to lose the weight and then keep on pushing and become, one of the top comedians, that's my story. I have diabetes. I'm kind of fat. I almost died on my deathbed.
Really?
So it's a good thing I I didn't die because I ain't had no insurance. They would have had to bury me in a boat.
Oh,
And
Lord.
so
Are you serious, though? I see comedians,
I'm
sometimes you
serious.
don't.
Diabetes. I went to a diabetic home. I
Wow.
was in a hospital for like 5 days. My sugar went up to like 820.
Oh, my.
And I was supposed to be up out of here.
Yeah.
And, I used that. That's part of my testimony of how God, took that situation. And I have been able to speak to people, about that and about being on my deathbed because I was there and God brought me through. So
amen.
now I use that as entertainment, and now I use that as something to lighten situations up because what was supposed to be, God made it into something that worked together for my good.
You better come on now. Absolutely. So they say a lot of comedians use their pain and turn it into comedy. They turn it into funny. And a lot of comedians have a dark past and even a dark sense of humor. What do you say about that? Do you think that's true?
I agree 100%. And a lot of most comedians, and I'm not gonna say all because we use our pain, we use our past, we use our present, we use the stuff that people be like, oh my goodness, that's terrible, and we turn it into, oh my goodness, that was so funny. And then comedians, when we write, we take that past and that pain, but we might put a little something extra in there just for your entertainment. So, you know what I'm saying? But I believe that 95% of most comedians, they draw from things that most people would look at as setbacks, but we use it as getbacks. So,
absolutely. So in your introduction, I said that you were on Apollo. So that's the legendary Apollo. A lot of people haven't even visited the building, let alone was able to grace the stage. So tell me how that experience came about and tell me what it meant to you.
They booed me before I even got to the stage.
Did you rub?
It was that experience.
Did you rub the tree trunk first?
First experience of ever being on TV. And you remember back in the day they used to have the McDonald's All-American Talent Show?
I sure do.
I actually worked at McDonald's, and they had a talent show, a worldwide talent show that was between like 20 states. And I auditioned, and I made it to the top 10 out of all of these states. And they held the grand finale at in Baltimore, over by Rams Head Live, and I went in there and I won.
Wow!
Out of, I think it might have been 75 people.
Wow!
They gave me $1,000 stipend, and they gave me They gave me an opportunity to be on a live recorded Showtime at the Apollo on TV, and I went, and I was pumped up, and I said, I just killed the show. I'm gonna go up here and kill, and I went and got on stage, and they said, boo, and I said,
but did you go ahead and flip those burgers, drop those fries?
Absolutely.
But did you rub the tree stump? Did you rub it?
Oh man! So when we got there, they gave us a rundown of the whole place, the history of it, the different people that got booed off there, but came back to be live performers. The Lauryn Hills, like they booed these people. So they showed us the clips and the videos. Then they showed us the significance of the tree, and they showed us, that was the tree that, and how the tree became from that one stump right there, and how it started off. Just one person would rub it and then people just started following it. And so that tree, they took us up there, and I mean, you could just feel the souls, and you could feel you could just, when you walk by that log and you rub it, it does something to you. And when I came out, and I joke about getting booed, because I really did get booed, but honestly, when I rubbed that log and I went out there and I did my thing, you only got like 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I made it to 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and instead of me putting the mic down and just saying, all right, I made it through, I tried to do some extra stuff out there, and then it was all she wrote from there. But the experience and the significance of that log and that black-owned, black hand-built building was the most amazing thing that you could ever witness.
Wow, I believe that. And a lot of people can't share that story. A lot of people haven't even made it to the stage. So for you to win out of all of those people and you were able to go to New York to the Apollo and to be televised, I think that that's awesome in itself because a lot of people don't even make it that far. So you must be, a little funny.
Yeah, I'm all right. I try.
You came out the box, laughing and, telling jokes. So, the listeners do know that you are a funny fellow and they probably want to join the Red Dot Nation. So tell the listeners, what is the Red Dot Nation and why do they call you Red Dot?
So Red Dot stands for respect everything done. That's the red. The dot stands for doing our thing. I just added an extra T to make it cool. So the whole thing, when you spell it out, is respect everything done while we're doing our thing.
Hey.
So that's Red Dot. Most people think about guns and all that, but the meaning behind it is definitely, respect everything done while we're doing our thing, because we don't just do comedy. We do everything. So, when we talk about respect everything done, we mean everything from our prayer life to our, to the different movements, to our mentorships, to the Boys and Girls Clubs that we work at, You don't have to like everything we do, but respect everything we do.
I love that. I want to be. Can I join?
And Red Dot Nation is the people that understand that there's always a hope, there's always a dream in somebody, and it's up to you where that dream comes out at. A lot of us want to dream it, but it's easy to dream, but eventually you got to wake up from that dream, and when you wake up from that dream is no longer a dream no more unless you keep it there. It has to be now put into reality. So I tell everybody, don't just dream it, turn it into a reality. So the reality is the people that understand that, Red Dot Nation stopped being a dream, but it became a reality. And Red Dot Nation is a nation where we want to give people hope. If you act, you do comedy, you do whatever it is that you do, however I can help you, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I never got that big head. I never got too big to reach out to somebody. I never got too big for somebody to write me a message on Facebook or Instagram. I'm going to answer you. Most people be like, man, this ain't you. This got to be, no, it's me. Believe me, it's me. And so Red Dot Nation are people who believe and understand that through God, anything is possible. And there's people out here who is looking to help shape and create whatever it is that God is calling you to be.
I love that, Chris. I was not expecting that. And I want to be a part of the Red Dot Nation because that's everything that I stand for. So I commend you for doing that. And that's something positive. That's huge. And you know where your blessings come from. And not only do you know, but you want to share that with others and to mentor and to help other people recognize the greatness in them, which I think is amazing. People talk about there are no good black men out there. I've had 2 on my show in one night. I found 2. And of course, there are many, many more. So that's why it's important to me to showcase you guys in a positive light because you're doing great things. You really, really are. So thank you for that on behalf of all the women and men that are listening to our voices right now. Absolutely. So Chris, what is next for you? I mean, you're doing so many amazing things right now. I follow you on social media. I see all of the things that you're doing. You're constantly booking gigs and up for auditions. So what's next for you? And then also, what is the dream job?
I just landed the role in an untitled movie, but it's a feature film. I just landed the role in this movie where I'll be playing one of the lead 3 roles, and we're gonna actually be shooting in DMV. So I'll give all the information once everything, all the dust clears. But I'm gonna be signing that contract in the next week. On top of that, I'm gonna be playing the role of, you remember the Eric Garner, New York City thing. I actually landed the role to play Eric Garner in a documentary that's going to be coming up. So that's like going to be I'm looking forward to that, to people understanding that voice.
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just it's a symbolism, and not just for his death, but just for a lot of people who has been entrapped in bondage,
Wow.
and letting bondage squeeze the life out of them. So I'm ready to take on that. We are getting ready to start my Black College tour, which is going to kick off during homecoming season. So look for us coming towards y'all. We definitely going to start on the Eastern Shore and work our way through. Right now we got